Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, in whichever part of the world that you are, and welcome to Learner Minds, where learning is for all and all that we do is for learning. We continue with our wonderful talk, our wonderful meeting with the SMA, Kavita Awasthi. So request you to watch this video till the end, and please like and share this video and subscribe Learner Minds. Let's begin with our talk. And I know I can ask you some questions like these.
Yes.
Anyway, with about what 4,500 plus customers and still counting, and I'm sure it will go up to let's hope it's goes up to almost 4.5 millions. Let's hope.
Okay.
So, what is the secret? I don't know. इसका राज क्या है?
I have thought about it a lot of times, that I am in the fashion industry.
Right.
There are fashion designers in every lane.
Absolutely.
Loads of new girls, generations, boys are becoming fashion designers.
Wonderful.
A lot of boutiques are starting, a lot of boutiques are shutting down.
Uh-huh.
Then what is it that has enabled us to last for so long? And I think, come down to one point. That is my relation with my clients.
Yeah.
When we talk about 4,000 or 4,500 clients which I have, 99% of these clients I know on a first name basis.
Wow.
I know what kind of clothes they like to wear. I know what they don't like. I know which are their favorite colors. I know which styles they like or prefer more than the others.
Uh-huh.
Beyond all this, we also know a lot about their families, their backgrounds, their work, where they come from. These are things I think that keep the client tied with me. I don't have to take too much of effort. Once my client becomes my friend,
Yeah.
then I don't have to put in an effort to call that person to me.
Yeah.
They come to me for friendship, and business becomes a byproduct.
Oh. Lovely.
So,
Wow.
if we can form that kind of relationship with our client, where not everything, if a client has come in for something which is very small, and if I finish that conversation in 5 minutes, it's probably just business. But if I continue that conversation for 1 hour, where she leaves feeling that yes, I'm happy because I got to talk to somebody, she's going to come back to me.
Absolutely. So basically, this is completely opposite to what famous humorist Pulu Deshpande has said. He says ki kiman shabdat kamal apman giraykacha. So it's a big no.
No, definitely not.
So I guess most of the companies, most of the corporates, they talk about exemplary customer service. So if I ask you what is exemplary customer service, I think there goes the answer. Am I right?
So I don't think that customer service is doing something very big. It's just doing very small things consistently, no?
Yeah, absolutely.
When a client comes in, basic manners, तुम्ही कसं बोलता,
Yeah.
your staff, how your staff talks to them.
Yeah.
It carries forward to everything. I think it's just these little things. If somebody's supposed to come and is not come, and if you just call up and say you're going to come, are you not well? It shows that little concern which a lot of us, the human touch,
Sure.
which a lot of us have forgotten in this age of technology, I should say. That's what is good customer service.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, Kavita, I mean, since I'm from the training industry and since you mentioned about your staff, so I would just be curious to know that, yes, we know Kavita Awasthi, I've seen you dealing with customers, and I know there are quite a few, what we call as high-flying customers, that, and from there till someone who's going to get married very soon. So there's a wide spectrum of customers. How about your staff? If you are not around in the store, if you are out for a meeting, so how do you go about their training, and do they manage it with the same passion the way you do?
So, they do manage it very well, which is the reason why I am able to do a lot more things beyond Poshak. If I have to step out, go into the companies, go and talk to clients, for a lot of other things,
Absolutely.
the staff has to be strong to be able to manage your work in your absence.
Absolutely.
And they are good at it. Because for me, my girls come from backgrounds where they value the work that they're doing.
Yeah.
They are not doing it as a status symbol in the society. So that for me is a criteria. If you're going to come in here because you want to show somebody that you're a so-called fashion designer, they're not going to work for me. It's not going to work for me.
Okay, so after watching so many movies on fashion, of course, fashion movie by Madhur Bhandarkar being one of them. So I always had this image in mind that fashion designers they are in their own well-designed AC offices and stuff like that. And in reality, a couple of times when I've visited you and we have met for just a chai or something like that, I've seen you with a pair of scissors and on your table. And so, how does it work? Like, you still work hands-on?
I do. I love it because when I say the mantra that I live by is I love what I do and I do what I love.
Absolutely.
So if my tailor is not well and if there is a little bit of finishing, including things like stitching a hook, I will still do it. If at some time, if my girls are not there who do the embroidery, for whatever reason, little things that go into making a dress, if they are not there, like we say, the show must go on.
Absolutely.
In the similar way, all of us have trained ourselves where if nobody comes in, the dress still has to go on time. It cannot get delayed.
So, as the owner, as a leader, as an entrepreneur, so can I say that it is all about empowering your people, those who are working for you?
100%. Because when you are empowering them, you are also empowering yourself. If they get empowered, they are going to spread your goodwill in the market, which in turn is going to empower you as well. So yes, definitely. I always think that we should employ people who are either as good as we are or better than what we are. That's always a better way of having a good staff around you. Yes, definitely.
So, now as an entrepreneur, I mean, the entire world, I mean, not just entrepreneurs, but I think the entire business world or the communities around us, everything had come to a standstill over the last 18 months.
Yes.
And yes, because of the
Yes,
pandemic.
of course.
So, how did Poshak do during that period, and you know where I'm coming from. So, what was your mindset at that time? How the dynamics changed for you? Because in terms of staff, in terms of managing, procuring the fabric, and so how did you go about it?
I speak for a lot of people. Initially, when they declared that we were going to be staying at home, all of us went into a state of shock.
Absolutely.
Obviously, all of us did.
Yeah.
But then, throughout the lockdown, the one thing that we principally followed was we kept ensuring that our karigars had enough to eat at least. They were not working at that time, but at least we kept their houses going. And as a result of that, when we restarted work, they were there for us. So the first time when the lockdown opened, where we were just allowed to go out of the house for 2 hours, the establishments were opening, that is the time we were back at work. And when we came back, rather when I came back, the staff was not there. We had over 100-150 odd outfits that had to be delivered to clients.
Absolutely.
So very gradually first, we started taking stock of the situation, what all do we have, started calling up people. I think ladies also were a little bored at home, so they also started coming back. Gradually, clients started coming. After a month, my staff, a couple of them were back. My tailors were back. The orders gradually started coming in. But I think within 2.5-3 months of the lockdown opening up, we were back in business.
Wonderful.
So, touch wood, it's been a good experience for us. Our clients have not gone anywhere, and it's really been a good start for us.
That's what, absolutely.
Yes.
So, did you get a chance during the lockdown to sit, take a stock of the situation, see what the journey has been for about 25 plus years, and reflect and do something new?
Reflect, yes. I did get a lot of time to do it. But quite the contrary. Instead of doing something new, I realized that this is the time to do only what is your forte.
Wonderful.
To not do things which are new, because that was not the time to experiment in the market.
True.
So what was our forte, because of which Poshak lasted for so many years, we got down to the basics and we only continued with that.
Wonderful.
And now it's about a year since we've opened up,
Yep.
and this season has been really, really good. So if I were to say, it's been much better than the past few years that we have had in the season.
Wonderful.
Only the sole reason being, stick to your basics and do what you are really efficient at. At this stage, don't go out of it.
There's this, I don't know whether it's a Japanese saying or it's normally said in quality that, you know, you take care of the basics or you take care of the process and the results will be taken care of. So something like
Which is something that we followed here, yes. We didn't get into too much of experimentation, not now. We might do it after the economy kind of settles down,
Yep.
but not now. So I think this is something which otherwise also entrepreneurs should learn. When you are in trouble, stick to the basics. Don't go into experimentation, because you've reached a certain stage because you're good at something.
Absolutely.
Just do what you're good at, everything else falls in place.
Why have some of the celebs stayed around with you for so many years? What could be the reason?
One reason being, I have never used their name to flaunt, to attract more clients to Poshak. They have come here with the thought that they are comfortable in my surrounding. So I cannot use that as a pull factor to get more people to my place.
So, you know, there's always this debate that behind every man there's a successful woman and, you know, all of that. It has been going on for years together.
Yes.
So, absolutely not being a feminist, but I would just like to know that when a woman, I mean, when she goes out for working, yes, of course, that's also a big thing. She's not around for 8 hours and then she has to take care of all the household chores. I mean, that's how the society has been so far. Now, when you are in business, I believe and I know for a fact that you have very odd working hours. So you start at 9 o'clock in the morning, or maybe even earlier during the Diwali period.
Yes.
So, who has been that strength and how?
I think I have been one of the few lucky ones to have an extremely supportive family, both my parents and my in-laws.
Okay.
Because you just asked me, you know, if there was one thing that you would want to change along the years. One thing that I would want to change is if I could have got a little more time with my kids when they were growing up. But yes, we say the other side of being an entrepreneur, yes. But they've been extremely supportive. Like you said, Diwali is a very peak season.
Absolutely.
So-called ghar ki saaf safai and the typical farah that goes with it.
Absolutely.
I've never been there for 20 years, over 25 years, I have never been able to do it. Because that is the time when we are working nearly 24/7.
Absolutely.
So then going home, cleaning up the house, all these things do not exist. And for any mother-in-law to accept this, that yes, she's going to be busy and not say anything about it.
Kavita, any challenges faced in this industry because of being a woman, in the sense, I'll tell you where I'm coming from, because while the fashion designers they could be men, they could be women, but the karigars predominantly, if I understand, they are mostly, they are men.
Yes.
So any challenges faced there and how did you cope up with that?
Now we don't face challenges. But when we had started, we had karigars who were very experienced.
Okay.
And sometimes if we had to tell them a different design from the traditional design,
Yes.
they used to say, "Arey, kal ki designer humko sikhayegi kya?" It happened for a few years, not very often, but it did happen. So we had to build the confidence in the karigars that what we are telling you, you do it for us because this is what the client wants, not because we are trying to teach you any kind of, or we're not giving you gyan,
Absolutely.
so to say. So even today, when we have to tell the karigars something, if it is something out of the box, we cannot ridicule the karigars कि क्या आपको इतना भी नहीं पता है क्या.
बिल्कुल.
We need to understand that they are the people who are actually running the show. So we need to be a little careful when we're talking to them. But like, we've not had a problem. We have karigars who've been with us for over 15 years. So now we're very settled.
Okay, so Kavita, before we come to the closure of this wonderful rendezvous or tete-a-tete, whatever you want to call it as, or meet the SMA as we say at Laromance. So I would like to ask you that I know that you're involved with a lot of social causes. So you're involved with, let's call it the CSR activities and things like that. So can you throw some light on that?
So over the years, we realized that after being successful in our own business, there were so many things that, some basics also, that kids, growing adults, young adults were not aware of. basic etiquettes when they step out into the corporate world.
Yeah.
If they're going to be working in a company, if they're going to be working with a big organization,
Certain.
absolutely, like how to dress, how to talk, how to shake hands, how to give a visiting card. These were also things that they were not aware of. And it was more the non-affording class that needed this training.
Sure.
Now, this class could definitely have not afforded what we call an image consultant these days, yeah.
Certain.
And so, which is why the past few years I started going into institutes, talking to college kids, post 12th, post graduation, on how to portray your image in the society.
Wonderful.
They were very small tips, because you can't give them things like go to a mall and buy an expensive shirt, be dressed in suits and blazers. That's not something they can do. So with their resources, what can they do to make themselves presentable? Because a lot of them lost out on jobs because they were not presentable.
Okay. Wonderful.
So how to do those things? Secondly, a lot of girls from that strata, they learn tailoring, but they don't know how to project themselves in the market to get orders. So those were things that again we started teaching them.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
And ladies who were sitting at home, again doing a little bit of tailoring, but not knowing how to reach out to clients. So these were things that we started doing over these years.
Wonderful. So all our viewers, we are going to share Kavita's email. It's going to be there. It's there in the description box, so you can write to her, you can reach out to her. So wish you all the best. Kavita.
Thank you so much, Girish.
Kavita, if you can, instead of me doing it, Pratik, today, let's ask Kavita. Kavita, if you can tell our audience to please like and share the video and please subscribe.
Oh yes, of course. I think this is a very beautiful way of getting people to learn so many things without giving gyan. Practical knowledge, absolutely the perfect way of getting across. So to all our viewers, if you have liked the way Girish and me have spoken just now, please do like, share and subscribe to Learnermites. It's a beautiful way, a beautiful world of learning. Thank you.